and gentlemen, these are the Truck Freaks.
The truck is powered by 3 Westinghouse jet engines. Each one of these engines were developed to use in a Navy fighter. Each one of these engines develops about 6,300 pounds of static thrust and about 12,000 horsepower at the speed of sound. In theory, and only theory of course, because the truck couldn't take it or this old driver couldn't handle it, but this truck has enough power to run over 2,000 miles an hour. Everybody always asks me what it feels like to sit in this truck at the starting line and what you think about. I really don't know how to answer that because I don't know how to compare it to anything else I've ever done. I know the feeling going down a racetrack must be something like the clown experiences when he gets shot out of a cannon there at the circus. The only difference is as soon as he leaves the barrel of the cannon, he slows down and we keep right on accelerating. And as far as what it feels like going down there, or what it looks like, I don't know because I'm so scared I keep my eyes shut. The truck took 9.5 months to build. It cost $250,000 to build it. It's a stock 1984 Peterbilt cab, and the front end is special made from fiberglass. So is the sleeper that's on it. The chassis is made from about $8,000 worth of 4130 chromoly tubing. This thing is almost like a space shuttle. It has so many different redundant features as far as the safety things. You know, it's got 2 or 3 different ways to shut off the engines and 2 different parachute setups and just a multitude of different safety things built into it. This truck, because of the power and the engines and everything in it, it creates a lot more noise and everything inside the cab. It's like an echo chamber in there. It's actually probably the most exciting part of this whole act is when you're up there at the starting line and before you leave. Because of the mass of the vehicle, it doesn't run as fast as a lot of the cars that I've driven over the years. So it's not quite as exciting to me going down the track because it does handle so well. I like a car that doesn't handle that good, something you have to kind of fight, you know, to get down a racetrack. Your mind's probably going 200 miles an hour and your heart's going 300 miles an hour. The adrenaline's maybe 500 miles an hour. You're pretty hyped up. I still am.
Cars. There's nothing like it in any form of motorsports. 3,000 horsepower, supercharged, fuel-injected, alcohol-burning funny car engine stuffed in the back seat of a car and designed to do one thing: travel down the quarter mile with its front wheels 13 feet in the air. Side-by-side action, the fans love it, shooting showers of sparks off their tail skids. You want excitement? You want wheels-up action? Check this out. The kings of the wheelie cars are the father and son team of Jack and Toby Ehrmantraut. Side by side, they throw fans all across the country, but they've added something new to their act. The tug of war, a battle between father and son. They've taken the rear of Toby's Windwalker and connected it with a giant metal bar to the back of the powerful Hemi under glass. The Ermintrouts have perfected this unique act in drag racing, and Jack's going to tell us exactly what's going to happen.
What we're about to do here is a tug of war. As you can see, both cars are hooked together with a solid steel bar. What we'll do is get in the cars, fire them up, put them in gear, step on the gas, and whoever pulls who's the winner.
As the old man, Fast Jack Ermintrout, gets ready to go in the Hemi under glass, his son Toby pours the water in front of the rear tires. He learned this trade from his father. He's been doing it for 5 years. It's the only job he's ever had. It's very, very dangerous, but the kid loves it. He loves to do battle with his father. He loves to kick his butt. But the old man is always up for the challenge. Wheelie car tug of war, an unpredictable display of fire, horsepower, and smoke.
Here comes Diesel Louis. That's Diesel Louis Force out of Yorba Linda, California. The sport's only wheel-standing Kenworth-bodied machine. It's the most unusual wheel stander ever seen in the sport of drag racing, let me tell you. 1953 Kenworth body truck, powered by a big block Chevrolet engine. It's all riding to the rear frame rails. Take a look at that machine. Got the wild wing on the back, the stack sticking out the side. Diesel Louis Force, a great showman, the sports only 1953 Kenworth wheel standard. Okay, now if you think jet cars are exciting, here comes a jet dragster. Now take a look at this car. It's the longest car in drag racing today, 30 feet long. It's called the BOROWN Express, and it's powered by not one, but two Westinghouse J34 jet engines. Twice the power, twice the speed. And this is an unreal car. Like I said, the biggest car in drag racing. Take a look at the size of that thing. 30 feet long, two big, powerful J34 jet engines sitting behind Steve Cotugno, the driver. Now, Dick Gallardi built this car a few years ago, hired Cotugno as the driver, and without a doubt it's proved to be one of the most popular exhibition vehicles in the sport of drag racing today. Now, both of these engines produce 5,000 pounds of thrust, which translates into 10,000 horsepower. Each engine, so we're talking about a 20,000 horsepower machine here. You'll notice those two chrome things that are sitting on top of the engine look like fuel tanks. They aren't. What they are packs with the dual parachutes it takes to stop this car after he makes a 250-mile-an-hour run down this quarter mile. Both of those parachutes are blown out of those tubes by shotgun shells that are activated by the driver inside the car. He presses a button when he wants the chute to come out, fires the shotgun shell, which pushes the chute out. Look at that fire and smoke show there, huh? Unbelievable, the size of this thing. It's so big, it's so awesome, it's incredible. A lot of horsepower, but designed to do one thing, go from the start line to the finish line as fast as we possibly can. What a great run by the BOROWN Express. That thing was really burning as it came by here.
I like the excitement and the danger with the speed. Everything just in combination, the power and the noise, it's all great.
14 spectators out of our grandstands have donated their street cars here tonight. parked him under the ramp, in line with 4 more junk cars, and the masters of disasters are going to take this 1972 Plymouth that you see out here, an ex-New Jersey State Police undercover car, jump it off the ramp and crash it into the pile of junk cars. Our safety crew is ready, and I'm sure all of you people out there are going to get a kick out of seeing the cop car crash. Approaching the ramp at 90 miles an hour, he must hit it perfectly or he's in big trouble. What an impact! He didn't want to land like that with his back end on the ground, almost flipping over. Rigby rushing to the car to the aid of his driver, helping him unbuckle the shoulder harness, the seatbelt that holds him in that car. What a crazy profession, but it's a real crowd pleaser. Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is now being set for the most dangerous auto jump you've ever seen. The fire trucks you see out there, the fire crew, there's a reason for that. Because the masters of disasters are going to attempt to jump a full-size automobile off this ramp 200 feet in the air and land on this pile of junk cars. It's a little different than the 2 you've seen previous, because this time the car is going to be on fire. This stunt has been banned at many events across the country because of the danger involved. The driver coming down the track now at 90 miles an hour, ready to hit that ramp on fire. Exploding in a fireball, landing on top of the cars. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, the entire back half of the car engulfed in flame. Dave Rigby frantically jumping on the car, checking on his driver, the fire crew. With the extinguishers on the back of the car, they got the fire out. He's okay. There he comes out through the front windshield. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, the masters of disaster.
Jet cars, there's nothing quite like them in all the world of motorsports. And to show us a little bit of a closer look at a jet funny car and what makes it tick is one of the top names in the sport, Bob Van Sciver. He not only is a track operator owning Atco Raceway, but is a driver of the liquid luster jet funny car.
Well, they're basically 1,400-pound cars with GE J85 engines in them that travel a quarter mile in 5 seconds. It speeds up to 280 miles an hour. They're completely thrust-driven, same as being like on a roller skate without a motor drive.
Now, Bobby, for the benefit of those viewers who may never get a close-up look at one of these jet funny cars, can you take us through the car?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Kenny. You'll see down here that we have the onboard batteries for our igniters that actually start the car while the power is being applied to the engine. Right behind that is our onboard fire extinguisher, 20 pounds of halon. And we have 4 disc brakes on each, each wheel has its own independent braking system. And here's the intake for the main intake for the jet engine, the GE J85 engine, where the air goes in.
The screen is there to what?
The screen's there to keep debris out that you may pick up going down the racetrack, if there is any debris out there. Over here is our 23-gallon capacity fuel tank, which we burn kerosene or Jet A. And then the main inlet of the engine runs back to the GE J85. Okay, we're in the cockpit of the car right now, and I'm holding an easy removable steering wheel in case you have to get out of the car in a hurry. And over here is the engine fuel control. Right alongside that is the master parachute release. This is our emergency parachute release. Over here is our engine oil pressure gauge. This is our engine EGT gauge and RPM gauge. This is the onboard igniters right here. And down here is our emergency fire onboard fire system. This is another emergency release that shuts the engine off in case of something happening. And the various other little buttons on the steering wheel here are for making the fire show on the starting line for the spectators more impressive. On makes a bigger fire, and of course off goes back to afterburner. And then when we're ready to leave the starting line, the engine control, the fuel will be all the way up like this. When we close this little switch right here, this closes our bleed doors, and we have full maximum power going through the engine. And then you just sit back and watch the Christmas tree and hold on.
My name is Gary Bill, and I'm a stunt man. I've been known as the Human Torch, which is the hottest act around, due to the reason that I set myself on fire and run out down the crowd, in front of the crowd, on the racetrack or whatever. In my auto explosion, I place bombs around my car that are in the trunk area, under the hood, outside the car. Then I put on my suit, and I climb into the back seat of my car. This thing is wired, all the wires leading into. I have a countdown from 10 to 0. At 0, I ignite my bombs. This will engulf the car in flames. The flames will go 30, 40, 50 feet up in the air. The car is totally engulfed in flames, and I have a few seconds to get out before I do get into the dangerous part of being burnt. As I come out, my back is on fire. The back of my suit is completely on fire, all the way down to my legs, from my head down. Flames are going 10 to 15 feet in the air. Then I proceed to run to a predetermined spot where my fire extinguisher and somebody that I hope is not mad at me is waiting to put me out. I've never been burnt doing this act, and I've been doing it for about 8 years. The crowd reaction to these stunts has just been spectacular everywhere. On the auto explosion, like I said, I've always got good response on it, because come out, people realize just, you know what a fire can do to you to begin with, and to see somebody set themselves on fire on purpose and come out and be able to walk out of it, it just amazes people, and they've been real responsive to it. I've enjoyed doing it for the people. In the steel wall act, I stand this car up on the rear bumper. I block it up with a couple of 2x4s. Then this car is set on fire, and I'm in another automobile. This car that I'm driving is not specially prepared. There's no roll cages. There's no reinforcement in this car. It's just a car that is taken off the streets, or in this case, out of junkyards. The only thing I do to it is I put my own safety belt in it, and it's a lap belt, and I wear a helmet, and I wear my fireproof jacket, because the fire will pass through the car when I hit it. I like hitting the car at about 60 miles an hour. This will cause the car to flip up, over, and behind me, hopefully not landing on top of me. If I hit it any slower, I endanger myself of having the car fall on top of me, the car I'm driving then catch on fire, then I'm in danger. The car that I hit is just totally demolished. I've knocked the engines out of it. I've broken them in half. It's just, every one of them's different, but it's just a smashing success, and it's everybody enjoys it. They love to see cars crash.
Think of a giant roller skate with a big balloon blown up and then released. That's a jet dragster. Technically, it's a tube chassis constructed from chrome moly tubing surrounded by aluminum panels for a streamlined look. The engines are a variety, from J34 Westinghouse jet engines to the large J60 of Doug Rose's green Mamba. Jet cars are exhibition vehicles that tour the country, dazzling fans with outrageous nighttime firefights and fireball burner pops. They are tremendous crowd pleasers and come in a wide assortment of designs. The most popular car in the circuit belongs to the quickest and fastest lady in the sport, Aggie Hendricks. traveled down the quarter mile quicker and faster than any other jet racer. She's running a lapse time of 5.43 seconds at almost 300 miles an hour.
I'm Aggie Hendricks. I'm the part owner and operator of the Odyssey Jet Dragster. It's currently one of the quicker running dragsters. We've run 5.46 seconds elapsed time in a quarter mile, and we've run 293.35 miles an hour, which is a personal best, and it's definitely a best for the female aspect of drag racing. We're quite proud of our machine. It's always been a state-of-the-art machine, even though it has a few years on it now. It's always been one of the leaders of the pack. I've been driving personally for 9 years now. God, I can't believe that. The women out there, they go, oh, this is really great, and you're doing a job, and you're really representing us, and it's really for them that, that I want to do well, because I don't want to shame my sex.
Smith goes 5:53, and based on what I know about Phil Smith's race car, he might have had a flame out.
The difference between a jet dragster and a jet funny car is almost the same as with a top fuel dragster and with a fuel burning funny car. One has a production looking type body on it, the flip-flop type body, what we used to call floppers in the old days, and the dragster looks very similar to what a top fuel car looks like. It's a longer wheelbase, it just has some body panels on the side, whereas the funny car does resemble an actual production type vehicle.
Jet car fans, it's time for the Jet Dragsters. It's man versus woman as Tammy Gatlin from Texas takes on from Chicago, Illinois, second-generation drag racer Tony Schumacher in Wayne Canute's Odyssey. And just like we saw the Jet Funny Cars a moment ago, we watched the pre-race firefight between these awesome jet machines. And there is the lady. She's a young lady. She's only 29 years old, driving Jack Caulfield's machine. And she's right now lighting the afterburner, taking on Tony Schumacher.
When he leaves the line, the driver can experience 3.5 to 4 Gs. It's fairly constant down the racetrack. And stopping, when we use our larger 28 parachute system, you can see up to 9 Gs stopping for a split second.
Jet Dragsters much different from the Jet Funny Cars. First of all, they're lighter, they're more aerodynamic, and they are much quicker. They can go just up to 300 miles per hour. And there's Tony Schumacher moving up in the tower lane, this side of the camera, and there's Tammy Gatlin driving her machine out of Texas. And look at that little lady driving her jet car. The cars make so much power, the drivers have to lock up the brakes to keep them from going through the starting line. And these cars have no reversers, so once they go through the beams, they are done. And away goes Tammy Gatlin. Problems on Tony Schumacher's car. And there's Tammy. She'll take the win light, and she's got a big smile on her face. Look at the twin chutes slow the car down, and look at the fire coming out of the back of Tony Schumacher's car. I've never seen this before with a jet car. It's like a fuel funny car. He dumps the chutes out. The chutes are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was a flame out. And you see Tony Schumacher getting out of his race car. He's okay, but he'll take a look back and see some of the damage on the race car. Tony, there's a lot to do in this race car. What is it like on the starting line?
Oh, it's a tremendous feeling. You got the crowd, everyone's cheering you on. You're looking at the guy next to you. He's shooting fire out the back of a car, and there's loud thunder. There's a tremendous amount to do, and you just got to try to maintain your concentration. You're hitting afterburners, you got fireballs coming out, and there's so much to do that you need to make sure you don't get distracted.
Tony, was it hard to adjust to the thrill of a jet dragster, the speed, the acceleration?
Well, it takes a little while to learn when to pull the parachute. You're going awful fast, and the track's moving real fast. It's not hard to adjust to the ride. It's a real smooth ride. Tends to go straight. When you get out of shape, you got to shut it down. There's no correcting these cars. I'd say it wasn't as difficult as it was going into, say, for instance, if I went into a fuel car where there's actual clutches and pedals. This is a little easier, but it's definitely a handful. It's a real nice ride.
It's a lot of fun. It's fast, and respect the car, but I enjoy it. I'm getting butterflies, because I respect the car, but you don't seem to think about much once the car starts running. You're thinking about the car and your run. I do a fire show with the engine at a lower percentage, and then I bring the engine up to do the bangs and the pops, and then I bring the engine up to where I want to stage at, leave at like 105%, 125%, whatever the track will hold. And then as the last person stages, then I put it in smoke, and when I see yellow, I light it and go. When I pull a chute at the top in, it jerks me real hard. I'll lose my vision for a moment, and then I pick my head back up, then I start applying the brake.
So why do you do it?
Because it's fun. It's a rush.
And that's the sound of a jet funny car. From an aircraft to a race car, they take them from Army surplus, they put about 3 together, they make one race car, and we are set for round number 1. Starting off with Dickie Rosberg up against one of Roger Gustin's team cars. Look at the flame coming out of Dick Rosberg's race car. Just a taste of what's coming up as we have 3 rounds of jet car racing. Rosberg, the quickest jet car in the business. Up against Jerry Gannon, driving for Team Gustin. And right now they're going through the pre-race firefight, one of the most awesome moments in motorsports, when the drivers dump raw fuel, that's kerosene, into their afterburner and light it on fire. And away they leave the starting line. And the win light goes to Rosberg, a 573 at 262. Gannon loses with a very game 583. He is the king, the quickest and fastest jet car in the country, the main event warrior driven by the man himself, Dick Rosberg. Dick, what about racing in Englishtown? Tell us about the Raceway Park facility and how it affects your race car.
Raceway Park is, sometimes the air here gets bad, sometimes it's good. Today it's very good. It's probably one of the better tracks in the United States. Up until this point right now, we've been very successful on racing this car. We've held several track records. We are right now 57-0, and we want to maintain that to get it a little higher.
guy wanted to know what would happen to a car if you put this car behind a jet engine. So we tried it a few times, and it rolled the car out of the way. Then somebody said, well, why don't we chain it together? So we chained the car and a race car together, and it just blew a hole right through the car. So later on, when I built my car, I started working out some even more interesting ways to do it, like through the back, the front, side. This last weekend, I tried a new thing where I flip cars over with the blast.
He's a neurosurgeon, a neurologist. He's a brain transplanting fool. Taking on the greasy pygmy, they call him, Cam Stanley in the wild loving it truck. A Chevy small block, supercharged, fuel injected on alcohol, powering a Jeep, and a 511 cubic inch aluminum Chevrolet Rodeck racing engine powering the wild pickup. How'd you like to drive these cars on the street wild? I'll tell you. Backing up after their first burnout, the crew members guiding them back. We're going for a roar on wheels here today at New England Dragway. Ground pounding, earth shaking, road warriors of the quarter mile. The Wild Bunch. The craziest cars you'll ever see go down a drag strip. Here we go. Side by side off the starting line, Cam Stanley's love-it truck with a big block Chevy leading the way through the lights. He takes the win at 829 to a losing 869. Who's behind those Foster Grants? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tommy the Who House. And driving the very mysterious RCD Datsun. 540 cubic inch aluminum Chevy engine, supercharged on fuel injection, the fastest car of the Wild Bunch. He's run mid 7-second times. What a pair of wild burnouts by these crazy Wild Bunch cars. In the left-hand lane, the unbelievable bright light Camaro of Denny Brightwell, powered by a 460 cubic inch steel block Chevy racing engine. It's got the stock A-frames, the stock front suspension, but one of the quicker cars in the Wild Bunch circuit. More like a street car than any other car in the Wild Bunch. Wild wheel standing burnouts by both cars. Checking out the traction on the starting line. Two of the wildest cars in all of drag racing. These guys are more than drag racers, they're entertainers. Taking their quarter-mile rocket ships down the drag strips all across the country. The Wild Bunch, the stands are always packed when these guys appear at the local drag strip.
170 miles per hour for the steel block bright light Camaro. While we're waiting for the funny cars to get ready for the next round, here we go. Two of the wildest vehicles ever to go down the drag strip. Bob Hall's Paddy Wagon Chevy Vega taking on Danny O'Day's wind-up pickup. They're called wheel standers, designed to travel down the quarter mile on their back wheels. Their front wheels up in the air, and there you go. Bob Hall making a burnout. Here comes O'Day, as you can see easily picking up the wheels. A little wind-up motor in the back, really cranking it out to get this pickup truck down the quarter mile. Both vehicles with big block Chevrolet, supercharged and fuel injected, stuffed in where the back seat would usually be. Turning around out there in the middle of the track and coming back to the starting line. These cars with a lot of weight in the back, they got those wheelie bars hanging out and titanium wheel skids which shoot a shower of sparks as they go on down the Raceway Park quarter mile. So here they come back towards the starting line. Hall with a paddy wagon, got the flashing lights, got the siren. He's making a U-turn, he'll be running in the right lane. That big block Chevy stuffed in the back. A Danny O'Day pickup truck. He calls it the wind-up pickup truck. And producing about 1,500 horsepower. That big Chevy engine sitting in the pickup bed. Each driver sitting right in front of those big supercharged engines. Look at the scoop sticking out the roof of the paddy wagon over there in the right lane as he brings it towards the line. These drivers, as soon as they leave the starting line, they look through holes in the floor of their vehicles and steer the car using an independent pair of rear brakes, sort of like the way you steer a bulldozer. There they go, up in the air, and they got up. The spark shooting off the tail skids, the big block Chevy engines pumping them down the track, and what a wild pass! The wind going to the paddy wagon, a good run for him. Danny O'Day right alongside.
Simon Dave Miller is my name, and my car behind me is a 1955 Thunderbird powered on nitromethane. Took us 6 months to build this car. We were really rushed to get it done. We wanted to get involved with the nostalgia racing, becoming one of the more popular events now in the sport of drag racing throughout the country. A lot of money tied up in this car. The body we have about $20,000 in, and then the normal chassis deal and the motors and so forth. It's a $100,000 piece. We're going to campaign this car throughout the country at all nostalgia events that we can find, try to do some Ford work, and try to be the fastest nostalgia car in the world. Tom McEwen's 57 Chevy was the first nostalgia fuel car. This 1955 T-Bird of mine is the second nostalgia fuel car. The popularity of these two cars is growing immensely day by day. The operation of this car is the same as any other fuel funny car or a fuel dragster. There's maintenance between rounds, just like there is in all the professional field classes. This is not a weak motor. The one that Tommy Funes uses is not a weak motor. Our cars are duplicates of the field cars that run at the national events. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to watch McEwen and myself at all IHRA events this year, which is all-out competition. As the season goes by and we get the aerodynamics figured out on our nostalgia cars, our ETs will get better and our mile per hour increase. But most of all, what's important is to have safe rides. If we don't have these cars slick enough to go the 260s and 70s or to go the 520s, we won't. We'll be happy with the 550s at 220, 230. I think you'll see it. You'll see good side-by-side competition in our nostalgia racing.
Here's Ed the Outlaw Jones from a small town in southern Idaho with the town's fire engine converted for drag racing showmanship. Preparing for his run, Ed anoints the fans with a little fire making of his own. Then putting the wheel stander on its tailgate, the 1931 Chevrolet fire engine performs in a way for which it was never intended. Ed the Outlaw Jones, spectacular showman, and his unusual fire truck.